That was a tough loss, losing to the Bills 14-9. And at the end of the day, if there's any takeaway from this, the Giants were competitive. They fought, play in and play out. We're winning the game. We're actually playing on offense with a lead. That hasn't happened. And watching the offense was just very weird to me. Not only without Daniel Jones, seeing Tyrod Taylor make some throws that kind of has you puzzled. And it's like, hey, man, if Daniel Jones was in, was he making that throw? Kind of has you think about that. You see people go down with injury. You see controversial plays. Before we dive into it, man, subscribe down below. Road to 10K still active, man. Like the video. Comment down below your thoughts. We do this every week. And yeah, like when you think about this Giants team and you think about how they've looked, this is probably their best showing all season. And yet we're 1-5. Me, I'm an optimistic fan, but I have to be realistic as well. The Giants have not looked good up until this point, and even with them looking well, they looked pretty good, and they didn't embarrass us finally, because they've embarrassed us a couple of times on national television. We're 1-5. I said this a couple of weeks ago. The Giants were staring at 1-5 and right in front of them with the Dolphins and the Bills ahead of them, and here we stand, 1-5. The team looked competitive though, and let's start with the defense. Right, the defense looked lights out. Holding the Bills to 14 points is a great job. 14 turnovers, you get an interception, you get a forced fumble. Bobby Okereke was all over the field. The defense was playing well. And throughout the whole game, I knew at the end of the day, the Giants were not going to be able to hold them forever. You can't expect the defense to hold them to nothing all game. And with this offense, you put Tyrod Taylor, you put Daniel Jones, there's no way getting around it right now. This offense is like one of the worst, if not the worst in the league. We have gone more than 3 games now without the offense scoring a touchdown. No defense is going to be able to win with that. You see even the Jets. The Jets defense is able to hold them off, force turnovers, but the offense has to score. The offense puts on some points. Here they are with 3 wins. Their starting quarterback was lost with an Achilles injury. What's the excuse for the Jets? I can't make no excuse for the Giants. Look at the coaching. Look at everything that comes involved with it. Everyone's going to be talking about it. That last play before halftime where Tyrod Taylor, he checks out of it into a run play, gets stuffed, doesn't even get to run a play, doesn't even get to stop the clock. No field goal, no touchdown. That right there sums up this Giants team. Like, let alone not even being able to get it to the goal line, but just being able to have a good play and something like that happens where it just unravels itself. That's what the Giants have been all throughout this point. Every single game you see it. There's always something that has you scratching your head like, what was that? What is going on? And that play right there sums it up. I know what happened at the end of the game. Listen, the Giants made it a game. The Bills were trying to hand it to us all game. We have to be realistic. The Bills were trying to hand it to us. Missing field goals, giving us points back, and the Giants were never able to capitalize. The Giants never capitalized. When you look at the Dolphins game, I said it. They forced 3 turnovers, and yet we still lose by double digits. That's bad. That's a bad football team, and that's a bad offense. Doesn't matter what defense you have, how much points and how many turnovers they force. They scored a touchdown for us last game, and we still can't manage to make it a game. It's hard to be this negative, right? And I don't want to be super negative, but at the end of the day, we have to look at who the Giants are, and right now we're one of the worst teams in the league. We are, if not the worst team in the league. Taken away from it, Tyrod Taylor, once again, he did make some throws on the offense side of the ball. You saw the play to Hyatt that ended up getting called back. You saw the throw to Slayton. Even the throw to Slayton where Slayton tries to body catch it, goes right through his arms. The ball was right there. I understand the defender was around him, but the ball went right through his arms. He was making throws. So I definitely like what I've seen from Tyrod Taylor. He's a backup quarterback. Then you're still capped off of what he can do in general. Tyrod Taylor is Tyrod Taylor. You saw him throw inaccurate balls left and right as well. We're not going to kill him for it because he's a backup quarterback. But if Daniel Jones does that, you don't expect that from your starting quarterback. Rightfully so. But Tyrod Taylor was inaccurate. I don't want to hear that Tyrod Taylor made this offense look alive. The offense still didn't score a touchdown. We put up 9 points. I don't want to make it Tyrod Taylor against Daniel Jones, but I just know everyone is going to. And everyone's going to say, hey, the Giants offense didn't look that bad with Tyrod Taylor. And if Daniel Jones was in, we would have no shot. The offensive line stepped up their game as well. Justin Pugh, shout out to him. Listen, I don't know in depth. I didn't watch him one-on-one, but he was going into it, starting for the first time in over a year. Ended up moving to our left tackle because Josh Azudu gets hurt. Justin Pugh was not on the team last week. Or he was on our team. 2 weeks ago, he wasn't on the team. And now he's playing left tackle for the New York Giants. Shout out to him. He held his own. The guards, shout out to them. They held their own. They were able to create some plays. You saw when that Saquon he wasn't doing anything in the first half. Second half comes around. There's a little trap play that's going on. Saquon Barkley takes it. And he's making some rush plays out of it. The Giants were creating holes. And the Giants were moving the ball. We just could not cash it in. And another thing that people are going to talk about, and I have to address, I will have a more in-depth talk about it tomorrow night. By the time this recording is going to be Monday. But obviously Monday night, I will be going live and talking about this. Dayball not going for it on 4th and inches just sums up where we're at. Last year, this Brian Dayball was going for 2. And if we make it, we win. If we lose, if we don't get it, we lose. And now it's 4th and inches on their side of the ball, and we're kicking a field goal. I know the offense is bad, but you have no faith in your team. You have no faith in your offense at that point. Those type of plays is what differentiates the Giants from the other teams. Josh Allen was going to end up making plays. He was going to end up finding his guys. He was going to end up scoring touchdowns. But your job on the offensive side of the ball is to try to continue to put up points and help your defense out. The defense was not getting no help. No help. You could argue without the takeaways, shoot, the Giants offense might only put up 3 points. I don't want to be this negative, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comments, man. That's just how I feel. 1-5 is here. I don't want to talk about no quarterback. I don't want to talk about no draft. This is the middle of October. Barely even the middle of October. And here we are talking about the draft already. It's a bad situation for the Giants. And you have to remind yourselves, the Giants were not expecting to be in this hole. A 1-5 hole? Who's climbing out of a 1-5 hole? The schedule does lighten up. But when you're the worst team in the league, I don't know. I don't know if it lightens up. Is it really that light? I will give my credit where credit is due. Shout out to Dexter Lawrence. Shout out to Leonard Williams for the fight. I just like the fight in this team. I haven't seen that all year. So seeing them be able to at least fight with these guys, and I understand we lost, and I understand, they didn't make all the plays in the world, but that little fight where they ended up scoring a touchdown after it anyways, it just showed me that this team was actually trying. They were actually getting agitated. They were actually had some type of feelings about this game, because I felt like the last couple games you didn't see that at all. There was no fight in this team. In a literal sense and in a team spirit sense, there was no fight. But this game they showed it. I don't like moral victories, but you have to walk away from the saying that the Giants, they might not be as bad as we think. But until I see that offense score a couple touchdowns, I can't say anything about that offense. That offense is one of the worst. One of the worst in the league right now. And it feels like a recycling door. Like everything. You can say revolving door, recycling door, whatever you want to say. We are garbage right now. Because in 2019, 2020, we had Garrett. I thought it was bad then. It is bad the same T. This is with Brian Daboll. This is with Mike Kafka. What can we say? Hyatt got some targets. He got some catches. Shout out to him. Wandale looks really good. Shout out to Wandale. Waller, for the most part, was making plays as well. There's a lot of things we could take away from this game that we could be excited about, but I just wish it came in a winning effort. That's all. Wish it came in a winning effort. We can't win them all. Some people are happy that we lost. We want to tank even more to get a quarterback. I'm not that type of fan. I'm the type of fan that gets satisfied with wins. Not no moral wins. Not no little victories, small victories. We need to get it done. And we can look into that last play. I'll be having more content and talking about that a little bit and more in depth. But that last play with Darren Waller at the 1 yard line, whether you run it with Saquon or not, I just wish it went well. I just wish it ended up getting completed. That guy was definitely holding him though, but we'll talk about more of that later. Subscribe down below. Road to 10K still active, man. Like the video. If you haven't seen my other videos, I got one for you right here. I'll catch you on the next one. I'll catch y'all live Monday night. Go Big Blue.